He noticed the girl before anyone else did, standing stiff beside the roaring motorcycles, her small hands moving in quick, desperate patterns while the man next to her smiled too hard. The biker thought she was just playing at first, until her eyes locked onto his and her fingers formed a message that made his blood run cold. She was not asking for money, not waving hello, not pretending. She was warning him, and the reason she needed help was standing right there, inches from her shoulder. What happened next would stop the street, silence the engines, and change more lives than anyone could imagine. If you believe in kindness and second chances, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Only Kindness. Your support helps stories like this reach the hearts that need them most. The biker's name was Rourke Hale, a man shaped by long highways and longer regrets. His leather jacket was worn thin at the elbows, stitched with patches from places he barely remembered passing through. People saw his beard, his heavy boots, the deep lines in his face, and assumed danger. Few noticed the careful way he watched the world, the habit of reading people before trusting them. That habit had kept him alive. It was also why he noticed the girl's hands. Rourke had learned sign language years ago while recovering from a crash in a rehab center, where an older veteran taught him patiently, saying it was another way to listen when the world was too loud. The girl's name was Malin Cross, 9 years old, slight and pale, with dark hair pulled into a tight braid. She stood beside a man called Corvin Pike, who claimed to be her father whenever anyone looked too closely. Corvin wore clean clothes and practiced smiles, but his eyes were sharp and restless, always scanning for attention or opportunity. He liked busy places where people assumed everything was normal. The street that afternoon was crowded with noise, engines, laughter, and passing cars. Perfect cover. Malin's hands trembled as she repeated the signs, slow enough to be clear but fast enough to stay hidden. She signed that the man was not her dad. She signed that she was scared. She signed that she had tried before and no one understood. Rourke felt something old and heavy settle in his chest, the same weight he used to feel when he saw injustice and walked away because it was easier. This time, he did not look away. He did not rush. Rourke knew panic could get a child hurt. He killed his engine calmly, stepped off his bike, and let his presence be known without aggression. Other bikers from his group noticed the change in his posture and followed his lead, forming a loose, natural circle that looked casual to outsiders but felt solid to anyone inside it. Corvin's smile tightened. He shifted his grip on Malin's shoulder, sensing the shift but not yet understanding it. Rourke knelt slightly so he was closer to Malin's height, his hands relaxed and visible. He signed back, slow and gentle, telling her she was seen and that she had done the right thing. Her eyes filled, not with tears yet, but with the relief of being understood. That alone was enough to harden Rourke's resolve. He knew the next minutes mattered more than anything else that day. What stunned everyone was not shouting or violence. It was patience. Rourke reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone, pretending to scroll while discreetly texting emergency services with precise details. At the same time, one of the bikers casually started a conversation nearby, drawing attention away from Corvin. Another dropped a helmet at just the right moment, creating a small distraction. The street continued moving, unaware that a rescue was unfolding in plain sight. Corvin tried to steer Malin away, but the path seemed to close around him. People he had ignored moments before now stood in his way, not threatening, just present. Sirens appeared sooner than expected, cutting through the noise like a promise. When authorities arrived, Rourke stepped back, allowing professionals to do what they were trained for, but he stayed close enough that Malin could see him. She watched him constantly, as if afraid the understanding might disappear. The truth unraveled quickly. Records did not match. Stories contradicted each other. Malin was taken somewhere safe, wrapped in a blanket, her braid loosening as the tension drained out of her small frame. Corvin was led away, his practiced smile finally gone. Bystanders stared, shocked not only by what had been happening in front of them, but by who had stopped it. The bikers they had silently judged were the reason a child was safe. In the days that followed, Rourke could not shake the image of Malin's hands moving in the air, brave and terrified all at once. He checked in through proper channels, never pushing, just making sure she knew someone out there cared. Malin began therapy, began school again, began to sleep through the night. She asked to learn more signs, turning fear into a language of strength. The biker group organized quiet support, donating time and resources without cameras or praise. Rourke returned to the road eventually, but something in him had changed. He no longer rode just to escape his past. He rode with purpose, stopping more often, listening more carefully. He taught sign language at community centers when he could, telling no one why it mattered so much. People started to see him differently, but more importantly, he saw himself differently. If this story touched your heart even a little, please like and share it so others can be reminded that kindness often arrives in unexpected forms. And before this story ends, take a moment to comment below with one word that describes how it made you feel.